Hello, guys. I'd like to show you how to make an NPC in what is it? In Oblivion, of course. I'm using the Tez construction set. I'm going to be making an NPC because I want another NPC to follow me, um, and at least just have them in the town so I can have some more people in the town. So about setting it up, once you've set it all up, the test construction set, um, the first thing you need to do is to make sure that if you're making a new mod, just make sure you click on Oblivion.esm here. You just left click it twice and then you just press OK. I've already done it, so I don't need to press it. A note though, if you ever go back to your mod, you want to set, you want to press the mod that you are working on. Right, you don't have to press Oblivion.esm, that'll do it automatically. And then you can press set as active file. But I recommend getting the construction set extender on Nexus, because it's just so much more stable and so much better. But maybe that can be in another video. This is just about the NPC. So once you got that and sorted, so you want to go to, so if I collapse all those, if you want to go to NPC on actors, and then in this window here where all the NPCs are, right click and then press new. Doesn't matter if it's highlighting one, it won't affect it. And there you go. Now it looks like a bit of goes to the default race and class and everything, so it kind of looks weird at the moment, but don't worry, we'll get there. So what I do first of all when I create an NPC, right, there's different ways of course, but the first thing I do, put the ID in. So this is just a name for my NPC. Give it a name of course. So the ID is not going to be seen in game. That's just so you can organise your NPCs in the mod when you're modding it. And the name is what you're going to see in the game. So, script, we'll leave that for a moment. Class, so, well first of all, I won't touch the class yet. I'll touch race though. I'm going to make a Imperial. Not that one though. I want to make a female. I don't know why it's like that, but I'm pretty sure I can change it. So once I've done that, just press OK, and that's important. And then I save it because I've got it set up. I do that because I want it to initialize, and usually there's issues that happen if you try to create an NPC, and you want to change all the different things all at once. I think it's better to do that. Change the race, put the ID, and then press OK, save, and then do everything else so that you don't. So you make sure you initialize properly. So the hair. So this is where we can apparently choose our hair, and I don't know why having a blindfold has anything to do with your hair, but whatever. So cropped. So I don't know. I might have actually this one because the person I have in mind looks, well, no, not really. I'd say no, no, no. I'm not a fashion designer. I'm not. No, definitely not that. But I'll have that. I don't mind it. Eyes. I'll leave them brown for now because I don't know. It makes it look nice, I guess. Class. So class is basically, so you know when you start a new game in Oblivion, and Boris asks you what your class is. This is just what it is basically. So what I'm gonna make, a hunter. I'll just have that, you know, that idea. And I'm gonna make her essential so she don't die. So yeah, because that can be annoying, can't it, sometimes. Um, and then if I press auto calc stats, that'll tell you what sort of stats. This is good because it'll if you press this but this checkbox here, it'll tell you what sort of skills she'll be like good at. So I think the skills she'll be good at is blade, and not hand to hand, light arm, marksman, etc. You can also set the if you press PC level offset, so she'll level with the player. The minimum, so I'd say level 1, and then max 100. And usually, the offset, you can set a minus number, so that means the player will actually level behind the player. But I'm going to give her a positive. I'm going to give her about 3, so she's 3 levels ahead of me. So that's done. We'll come back to AI and that stuff before, um, so that so we can actually do her actions. But I don't think I'm going to do everything today because I'd like to make them into parts. So this is just making the NPC. It's quite a simple part, but the other parts might be a bit more complicated. But honestly, you'll be fine. So the inventory. So what I do with inventories, right? There's various stuff you can do, right? You can give them basic, like, armor, like, so the basic armor. So if you go to items and then you look at armor, if you look at all the different stuff here, these are all basic items. So these items are static, if you ask me. So they're static because they'll always, if you give them that armor, they'll always have that armor on. And no matter of time will change that. But interesting thing, you have something called leveled items. So leveled items are basically like with if you've played Oblivion a lot, you might notice that sometimes the bandits and other enemies get higher quality armor, right? And what exactly is happening there? It's choosing from a certain like random choice of items, and it's dependent on the level of the player. So if I get blade, so this is blade. Usually you choose the basic skill, so you want to find the leveled item. So go by users as well, because that shows you how useful, how often the developer was using these things, and usually that means it's working. So if I left click this and go into this, well, first of all, as you see here, this is actually linking to other leveled items, and usually those leveled items will have the basic items. So what I'll do, I'll go to short sword, for example. Short sword. These are a bit more specific. So short sword, if I go to short sword, I think it's this one. Yep, here. And you see here all the different items you can get. And the level here determines what the level of the player determines what sort of items the enemies will get. So so after level 20, you'll see like NPCs having like Daedric armor with and blades and whatnot. The most powerful stuff in the game. Whereas at like for example level 1, they'll have the weakest, and it goes from there. I'm not going to do that one. I'm just going to go for blade because it's all kind of just gives more variety. So if I go, so I've got that there. Well, actually, I know I've got it there, but the problem is I have to have the you have to have the NPC screen up. So if I go to inventory, if I go to leveled item, so I'll look for blade again, and then the weapon blade. Which one? Yeah, go for this one. Stick it in there. So she'll get whatever blade your level, the level of what player you are. Now the good thing is, if you ask your follower to leave you, and then I haven't tried this out, but it kind of happens if they haven't followed you yet. But what happens is you'll go away for a couple of days, and you'll come back, and you'll notice they'll have more tougher armor, more stronger weapons. I've seen it once, but it's it's not enough to go off from. But generally it'll give you the. I can tell you definitely that it'll give you the sort of stuff that um, bandits and whatnot will have. So yeah. So I've got a weapon blade. Now let's see what other stats she's good at. Light armor, marksman. So what I might do is I'll give her some. I'll give her a bow, a level bow though. So go with this one here, which is a bit because it uses the most, and it'll select from a random selection of bows. So bow, arrows. Yeah, I think the thing with this one, the good thing about this, is you don't have to specify the amount. All you need to do is no, that don't work. You don't have to specify the amount. You can just put one in, and it'll give a random amount of arrows, and they never run out. So don't worry. As long as you give them one, they'll keep using that one on and on. I don't know why, but that's the way the game works. It's a bit more difficult, this one. I'm just looking to see which one gives you the different like types. There's one here, but it says 10, so that means only 10%. It could mean though like 10% of, because it's using a large amount of them. It should mean that she'll get a few of some. So if I like preview, so you can preview. So if I say she's level 15, you can see what sort of armor and stuff she'll get. So she'll get the iron bow and iron longsword, which is not correct, but she should. Maybe the game is kind of tricking me here. Ignore that. That's not what happens. That's not what I've seen. Yeah, she'll get it according to the level of the player. So, and I'm sure she'll get some arrows too. So, okay, that's done. So the thing is, armor is all in here as well. So light armor, for you just type in the skill you want in the filter. So light armor. Go by users. So yeah, give us some light armor boots. 100%, 100, or the number at the end is the percentage of that they'll get them. Each like sort of like time they refresh their armor and stuff. And the low ones, so 100 means they'll definitely get this one. They'll definitely get one of these. So I gave her some light gauntlets, greaves. So they're the trousers. The helmet. I'll give her a helmet since I tend to don't like helmets too much, but that's more though I use a lot of beast races, so because I don't like using helmets on beast races. I don't know why, I just don't. And a light shield. Is she good at block? Block. No. So I'm gonna ignore that. Maybe it'd be nice to have it, but she'll just get like she'll probably get a one-handed sword or two-handed sword. That's really good. Spell list. Now let's look at the spells. Restoration, so good. Well, anyway, I use a lot. I give every follower restoration, so that it doesn't have to be. It just has to be novice, and any player, any NPC, whether they've got the lowest restoration in the game or whatever, will be fine with the novice one. But I'm gonna since she's one of her main skills is restoration. I'll give her some restore spells. So restore health. I think that's referring to a potion. That's referring to potion. That's not what I want really. I won't go with restore health. Oh, actually, this is good. I've missed out a point. You don't to look for spells, level spells. You don't go to that one. You have to go under magic here and then level spell here. Here we are. This is where. So I'm gonna give her a mage one and a minor one. That's absorb. But I'll give her that anyway because she's got that's one of her main. Drain health, no. Restore health. So restore health minor, restore health major. So depending on what level she is, a low level she'll use the minor one, because tend to not have really good stats at lower levels. So minor is probably the better to go, and then high levels she can use the major one. So what I usually do is I'll just press OK and just save it. Just save it regularly, because you know, I never know, it could crash. It doesn't usually. I don't think it ever crashes. Well, sometimes it does, but it's usually my fault. So complexion, this is just me like just making her hair, her facial features. I'm not gonna mess around with this too much. I'm not too bothered about it. I don't know if she'll be insulted if I don't make her look beautiful, but hey, I try my best. Yeah, I am terrible at character creation, but just go with it. I tend to just move these sliders a bit, and then I'll just think, there we go. There we go. I won't mess with texture. The only time I go on texture is when I'm doing Argonians, and just make their. I like making different colour skins, like purple and yellow and stuff. I always like making Argonians. So I'm pretty happy with that. So save. Now I want to test it out. Now this is not. I'm not going to go any further than this. I'm just going to test it out now to make sure she exists, because it's always good to test it out in stages so that you can keep a track on it. Because if you go too far down the line, you'll get a bit more lost in terms of where your NPCs are and stuff like, and where the problem went if you had an issue. So we won't bother with. I'll just keep it simple today, but we'll work on it. So I think the last area I was in, I think it was. I'm gonna go to the waterfront. No, actually, what am I doing? This is a good point. When you're trying to view cells, it'll show it in the render window when you load it up. But there's different world spaces. The interiors, of course, the interior cells. So when you go inside a house, you're not actually in, like, for example, if you're in Anvil, in Oblivion, and you go into a house, you're not still like in Anvil. You're actually gone to a different world space called interiors, and so you're not actually in Anvil. But to keep the immersion there, I always think of it as it, but just to keep that in mind, because that can be a bit confusing. No, not Anvil. Sorry, I don't want to put in Anvil, because I kind of put a few NPCs anyway in that one. Market districts, Imperial Paris. I want them now. Actually, funnily enough, right, the waterfront is in Tamriel world space, because when you're in the waterfront, you can access all of Tamriel. You don't. It's not just because the Imperial city is actually in a world space of its own. It's not in Tamriel as such. It technically. So you see, when I put waterfront in Tamriel, you see all these different variable world spaces. This is in Tamriel, so you might recognise this place. This is the waterfront. So this is where you start the Mages Guilds and whatnot. One of the best quests in Oblivion, in my opinion. But so I'm gonna put her in right now. She's naked now. That's intentional, because we gave her leveled items, but she won't be naked in game. She'll have little leveled loot. All, like, for example, I think all bandits in the game, when they place them, they'll be naked, because they have leveled loot. They don't have specific items of clothing. So I guess the game doesn't preview that, because it doesn't know what clothes it's going to preview once it gets involved. So, but I've got her there. I'll save it. Alright, make sure with your mods, well, I don't manage mods with this, the data files in this, but just make sure it's ticked. You know, if you have like one mod, you know, it's fair enough, but with a large amount of mods, yeah, see that's my mod, it's ticked, so it should be alright. Yeah, but with a large amount of mods, you want to get a modding utility just to help you out, because it can get a bit confusing. So if I got to load, I'm just going to load my save file. So yeah, I'm in the Temple District. So the Temple District is it actually goes to the waterfront. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna travel there. I don't fast travel, but just for this case. So we're in the waterfront. So let's go have a look and see if our follower, or soon to be follower, is here. I think the problem is I've got better cities. And it's a bit confusing. So yeah,
how do you do?
What have you been up to?
I heard there were some goblins around here recently. Awful creatures.
I can't stand the sight of those creatures.
Bye. Look at the muscles on
Hi
you.
there.
So
Good day.
now I think I forgot to put the leveled something called Curious. So in fact, while we're here, but yeah, the NPC's there.
Be seeing you.
Right, I'm not going to use that. I kind of made a mistake there because I didn't put because she didn't have any armor on her chest. I can't pronounce that word. I just call it chest armor. So leveled items. So I want the light curious. So this one. So put that in. Right, there we go. Now she should have the leveled loot all there. You know, she should have really quick. She won't like have part of it missing. Yeah, so apologies for that. But this is just, you see, I would have been a bit more confused if I had like gone and done loads of other stuff with her, like give her AI and whatnot. So I'll go to the waterfront again. Here we go. Here's hoping she has the right. Beautiful. She does.
It's you. Hi.
So she has all the correct.
Greetings, Argonian.
All the correct clothing.
It is a privilege.
So she's all prepped there for adventuring. So you see all the different random clothing she has. It's all randomly
Well
generated.
met.
Hello.
Everyone wants to know what really happened in the temple. What happened to Martin? Was the fiery dragon really Akatosh?
What great news.
Bye.
Be seeing you.
Yes?
You just can't get enough of these Oblivion conversations. But thank you for watching. I hope that really helps you. I'll be making another part. This is part 1, and I'll be showing you how to you know, make the AI and make it so she can follow you, and that'll be fun. Okay, I'll see you later, guys. Bye.